Hello and welcome to a short BiteWISe video about citation searching and research profiles. This video will show you how to investigate your own research profile or the profiles of other researchers. There are a number of reasons why you might want to look at research this way, as a way of seeing who has used your work, where they might be publishing similar work to yours, or to evaluate potential collaborations and collaborators. There are several databases and search engines you can use for citation searching, including Web of Science, PsycInfo and Google Scholar, but the one we're going to look at today is Scopus. You can access Scopus either by searching for it here or from the databases link on the library website. This link here will take you to more information about the database, or you can click Connect to take you directly to the resource. If you're already signed in, you'll be taken directly to Scopus, or you may be asked to log in with your university username and password. Once in Scopus, you can access authors' profiles either by searching for relevant papers and clicking on the author links, or you can search for a known individual from the Author Search tab. For this demonstration, we'll look at the record of Professor Gareth Roberts, a highly cited researcher from our statistics department. The Scopus search results gives us additional information on the author to help us identify which Professor Roberts we're looking for. The Scopus profile page gives a range of useful information for Professor Roberts' work, from the total number of papers published that are recorded in Scopus, these are also listed below, the total number of citations received for his work and from how many different documents, and the number of co-authors of his papers and the subject areas that Professor Roberts has published in. Before we go any further, it's worth considering citation metrics more generally. Citation metrics are measures of use and impact, but they are not always synonymous to quality. Quality is measured in different ways, and a paper having a higher citation score than another does not mean that the paper with the higher score is better, just that it has been used more often. Some warnings when comparing researchers' citations records. You cannot compare one discipline with another because disciplinary practices in terms of citation can differ greatly. There are disciplines where bibliometrics may not work as well as the coverage for these disciplines in the databases is not as good. For example, the arts, engineering, computer science, law and business. Mathematics and statistics also traditionally have lower citation scores than other science disciplines. No single literature database has 100% coverage of all publications, so some papers will always be missed. These metrics also rely heavily on the underlying data. This is particularly true when trying to separate the worth of one author with a common name from others of the same name. It's easier for those authors with unusual names, or if the two authors are working in different fields. The HIndex is a metric that attempts to express both the productivity and citation impact of the published body of work of a scientist or scholar. The index is based on the scientist's papers and the number of citations they have received in other publications. As can be seen in the diagram, a scholar with an index of H has published H papers, of which each has been cited in other papers at least H times. The index can also be applied to the productivity and impact of a scholarly journal, as well as groups of scientists, such as a department or university or a whole country. An individual's H-index is always changing, as more citations are received for their work, so if you are interested in the work of a particular researcher, make sure to set up a citation alert for him or check back regularly. More information about Professor Roberts' H-index can be found in the Scopus H-graph. This graph shows in detail the papers that have scored H or above citations, as well as the longer tail, and shows Professor Roberts' H-index of 37. This means he has at least 37 papers that have been cited 37 or more times, which is a world-leading score for the discipline of mathematics, where comparatively few papers are cited per publication. Note, more recent papers are unlikely to have been published for long enough to have gained any citations, and as these papers gain new citations, Professor Roberts' H-index will always be changing.